I just want to say thank you to everybody for participating and welcome to the info session. And we look forward to working with you as we work very hard to empower communities and change lives. And thank you, Ron, for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Michelle, did you want to add anything or?
I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to participate. We are really excited about this program and the opportunities it will bring to our community, and looking forward to learning a little bit more about the program and hearing some of your questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let me start off by saying also, I know you have the people that you see in front of you, but also know there are a lot of people behind the scenes working. Our board of Urban League, I'd like to say thank you to them. I also like to say thank you to the advisory group for all their help in helping us get this far too in the program. And so let me start off with a very high level of what R.E.D Academy is. R.E.D Academy is an Urban League of Middle Tennessee program that is intent on increasing the amount of developers of color within Nashville, Davidson County area, specifically focusing on real estate development as it relates to affordable housing. It is a 18-month program. It is free to the participants who get selected to be a part of the program. Class size range anywhere between 10 to 14 participants. We'll focus on a litany of different areas, but we're focusing on 4 key areas, which include finance, business, law and policy, and construction. And really trying to allow these real estate developers to be able to increase their capacity and what they've been doing in the past, but also really to affect community change. We see the need here in Nashville. I think everybody sees it. We are the IT city. I think we've been the IT city for about 4 or 5 years now. And based on the construction and the cranes around the city, I don't see it slowing it down anytime soon. So that being said, there are communities that are affected by the boom of the city. And we want to be able to make sure that the people who are affected also have representation at the table for all the economic development and growth that the city is doing. So that's where the concept of R.E.D Academy came from. We understand that typically developers of color are faced with a lot of different obstacles, whether it be access to capital, access to resource, access to knowledge. And so this program is designed to really change that narrative. We know that these developers are capable. We understand that they have the tools. They've probably been doing it for a number of years. But without all those things that I just named, it's really hard to take the next step in your business and your growth. And I was reading an article that said that developers of color are estimated to make up less than 5% of real estate developers in the nation. So, we have a long way to go. Nashville is extremely diverse. It does not look like one race. We have all different types of people who live here and work here. And so R.E.D Academy hopefully can address at least that small portion, specifically looking at Nashville, Davidson County. So I'll go on to say a little bit more about the program. I talked about it being an 18-month program. I talked about the different categories that we're going to focus on. But let me also say that when I talk about the participants who will be in the program, this is for people who are not new to real estate development. We want people who kind of understand it. We treat this class, this program, as more of a master's level. So we're looking for people who have some experience in real estate development. We're not limited to any years of experience. So, if you feel like you meet the requirements that are out there on the website, and Kenya will put the website in the chat box so people can go to it if you haven't seen it yet. We're not limited to any years of experience, but we do want people who understand it. The instructors, the mentors that will be participating in the program, they are people who are seasoned, who are veterans, who are really understand this stuff. And we want to be able to make sure that the participants coming out of the class will be able to stand up shovel-ready projects that will have an impact in the overall goal of affordable housing within Nashville. So that's our main goal. We talked about it being an 18-month program. We talked about the commitment. So I want to read off just a little bit about the eligibility requirements and then some of the commitment so that people can get an understanding of what to be looking for. So some key dates, applications opened up December 8th, and they are due, or we're going to shut down the online application process on Monday, the 17th. We will have interviews soon after. We will notify the people who have been accepted into the class, which I said again is anywhere ranging between 10 to 14 participants. That will begin in February. And then the program is looking to be kicked off at the end of February. And so I think if that starts correctly, I think end of February, 18 months is somewhere around August of 2023. We're looking at scheduling classes twice a week. And we're going to have a mixture of both in-person and virtual. And we're also looking for people to be able to commit to at least 85% of the classes. We understand that you are working people or business owners, so but we want commitment because we understand the importance of what we are doing on this program. Eligibility requirements: identify as a person of color. Participants must be a resident of Middle Tennessee or living in the Urban League of Middle Tennessee service areas, which include Davidson, Sumner, Montgomery, Rutherford, Wilson, Williamson, Cheatham, Dixon, and Robertson County. Show proof of a business license in Davidson County or being a business entity or organization registered as doing business within Nashville. Business must be in good standing with Metro Nashville and the state of Tennessee. We're also looking for participants who have a portfolio of completed or in-flight residential projects and currently working on or have worked on residential developments in Nashville. Demonstrate developer activities, focus on the Nashville region, and show commitment to affordable workforce housing and community development. Again, this is not an introductory program, so we want candidates who have some real estate development experience. Have a development pipeline with at least one project, preference for those under site control. So again, I talked about in the program that we're going to use it as a capstone program. And so as we use it as a capstone program, we want to be able to know at the end of the program, the participants will have shovel-ready projects. During the course, you will learn a lot more, especially be able to expound on all things real estate development. And so I think it'd be extremely beneficial. Participants must be interested in responding to requests for proposal for real estate development opportunities in Nashville, Davidson County, with or without a development partner within the next 1 to 2 years. And then also, just as a note, pre-development dollars are available for participants who are going through the program. But then also know that the intent is to be able to get those developers to then apply for the larger housing equity fund that Amazon has, and be able to have applications that are vetted and know that they are good standing applications when you submit to Amazon's larger housing equity fund. So I will pause right there and see if we have received any questions.
So right now, we don't have any questions. So that means that you and I get to play a little tennis.
Okay.
So this program, let's talk about the $5 million and why this is having an impact and why this is singly focused on Nashville. because I think that people need to understand why this is about affordable housing. And Michelle might also want to come in on this too. Why? So first, Michelle, let me put this question towards you. Can you talk about Amazon's housing equity fund? And I think that that will be a good way for people to have an understanding about the program and the support from Amazon.
Yes, good afternoon. So last January 2021, Amazon created a housing equity fund, which is $2 billion of below market capital that we are looking to invest in 3 of our largest corporate offices, our headquarters in Seattle, Washington, HQ2 in Arlington, Virginia, and then our new Nashville office where we'll have 5,000 corporate employees. Everywhere we expand to, we constantly heard that affordable housing was a need from local legislators, the community leaders. It was just a concern for everyone. And so we figured this will be our opportunity to invest in the nonprofits and developers who've been doing this work for decades, who are experts in the field. This is an opportunity for us to provide below market capital and grants to help support and further that cause. The overall goal of the program is to preserve or create at least 20,000 units of affordable housing. Our application rolled out last spring. We have been accepting applications since then. There is not a deadline or a time frame to apply. It's a rolling application over the next few years. So if you have a project, you can apply now. If you want to wait and learn a little bit more, you can apply next year. And the same pot of funding will be there. A part of that $2 billion is $125 million in the form of grants that we are providing to minority-led nonprofits and minority developers. We recognize that affordable housing is something where a lot of the key players all look the same, and we have not really had an opportunity as communities of color to have a seat at the table and really expand our brand, our projects, and be able to be a voice for our community. And so we have $125 million in grants set aside for that. The funding for the R.E.D Academy came out of that pot of fund. We also have a third pot of money that is set aside for funds to help support affordable housing. So if there are opportunities to support transit lines, transit-oriented development, things of that nature as well. But it's just an opportunity for Amazon to help provide funding for the people who already have the passion for the work. So we're really excited to launch it. We're really excited to support the members of this cohort. And we're just thankful for the Urban League for taking on this Herculean task and partnering with us. Thank you,
Michelle. So Orion, we have some questions that have come in. Good. And not to skip around, but to hit them the way that they've come in. Let's talk about, we know that we launched this last month. We put this on the website. And most recently, we have had some technical challenges with our application. So can you talk about that? Because that is a everyday question you and I have been living amongst. And that is also one of the questions that has been shared with us today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have had some technical challenges on the website, but I think we figured out a way to make sure everybody still is able to fill out the application completely as best they can. And so as it relates to the question and answer portion on the application, where it says you have 200 words or less or something like that, the way I am not a computer engineer, so excuse me. So I'm gonna explain it my best way, but essentially it counts spaces as a part of the characters. And so that being said, the workaround is to basically create a Word doc that you then can attach when you send in your resume, attach it to that. And that way all of your answers can be in that Word doc. And I think simple, easy way to do it would just be copy the question, paste it in a Word doc, and then write your answer there. And then when you upload your resume, make sure that Word doc is attached to it. And then that way and then in the application, just say see attachment. And that way we know all of your answers are on Word doc.
Also, I have dropped the Urban League's email into it. When you complete your application, it comes to me. I do respond to you to confirm that we have received it. In case you are having problems uploading the document that Orion just shared with you, you may email it to ulmt@ulmt.org. And I'll also be dropping our emails in directly as well. So I hope that that answers that. And you'll also see that Michelle has dropped in the link for the Housing Equity Fund. And so I have some other questions. Let's see. You talked about experience. So this question is about experience. I have limited experience, but my experience in property development, rental property development. I am with a nonprofit which seeks to do multiple real estate corporative development as affordable housing. Let's see, sorry, I have to scroll. As affordable housing throughout the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area. Would I meet your eligibility requirements?
So let me first say, experience is not the only deciding factor on the people who will be a part of the program. So know that we're not just looking at one particular thing, and if you don't meet that one particular thing, then you get tossed. So I would still recommend you to apply. I think all applications will be reviewed as they come in and be vetted on their own merit. And so that's how we'll kind of determine who's a participant. And then again, you know, we also have the interview process. So where somebody may have a great application, the interview process is also part of the judging period too, or application review period, excuse me. And so from there, then that'll help determine who, you know, who's a part of the class, the first class. And know that this is the first class. This is a test pilot. And so, you know, we need as many applications as we possibly can and questions, because you guys help make this thing better. And the more questions, the more applications we get, and the need is strong, you know, I think that's you know, something we can take back to the partners and say, you know, we're doing good work. The work has been proven, and you can see the list of people who are still out there that need this program. So thank you all too. I hope that answered your question.
So as you are still talking about experience, and we're talking about going through the process, explain, if you're not chosen, will you be able to apply for the second class?
Yeah, so you know, right now we're concentrated on this program and getting this one off the ground. But our plan is to have another class after this, but of course that's 18 months from now. So, you know, there's a long gap in between there. But Urban League of Middle Tennessee, and I think our president will speak to this, but we'll have multiple programs that hopefully you fall into one of those categories. If you're not ready for this one at this point in time, you'll stick with Urban League, because I think there are other programs out there that you might be very beneficial to, as well as a program be beneficial to you to participate in. And I'll let our president jump in and add anything that he wants to say about that.
Yeah, thanks, Orion. I'm working on identifying additional resources so that we can assist those individuals to be able to participate in some of our other program offerings for small business development, for our co-starters program, for those individuals that want to start a business, and then for our next level program for those individuals who are doing roughly $100,000 and above, you know, that is wanting to take their business to the next level. So we hope to have an offering for everyone so that we can create a pipeline of entrepreneurs and businesses, you know, that can be ready, you know, for our next offering of the Real Estate Developer Academy as well. So, but if you don't apply, then we can't help you get into one of these programs. But if you do apply, you know, just because you don't get into R.E.D, it doesn't mean no. It just simply means not yet. And we have other opportunities, you know, that you can take advantage of.
Thank you, President Harris. I would like to address that if you have applied for the program before and you had some complications in completing your application, please follow the steps that Aron has laid out. I do believe that he has emailed everyone who has applied. So if you see an email from him, he is outlining that for you. So we do encourage you to resubmit in the fashion that he outlined. Another question, is there a minimum limit to the size of the project done or a number of units? So you want to talk about that, because I know that that's like a portfolio.
Yeah, so if you're talking about your portfolio that you are bringing to the table when you come to submit as an applicant, no, there's not. We want to make sure that we are, again, to what Clifton said earlier, this program is not about one particular group or sector. We want everybody to be able to participate. So if you're talking about your portfolio, no, there's no limit. So submit what you have. If you're talking about the capstone project at the end of the program, then we are looking for large scale developments, which is the intent of the program, is to increase those developers' capacity. So we want them to be able to do definitely a lot larger than what they've been doing as they come out of the program. So, and to know too, if you are a developer who doesn't make it into this program and you feel like your portfolio, hopefully that you see that there is a gap to be filled by the participants who go through this program because they're growing their business, then you in turn can slide into where that gap, filled for where they left. So if they're moving up, then hopefully you're moving up to take their spot. So and there in turn, it's a Christmas tree effect. It continues to get taller and taller as it grows.
I have a question as we talk about the capstone. Upon successful completion of the academy, are participants guaranteed to receive the funds for construction for affordable housing?
So I'll do my best, and then Michelle can correct everything else I just said. But no, there's no guarantee. Each project is vetted on its own merit. And again, I'm not reviewing anything with the Housing Equity Fund. I can only speak to R.E.D Academy and what we're doing. But to the intent that the participants in the program, as they come out, their applications should be very vetted, should be right. And so as they're submitting, I think they'll get honest feedback if there's something missing that Housing Equity Fund feels like they need to improve on or do something about. But as far as a guarantee, I don't know much in this life that is guaranteed. So, but no, I think that definitely the intent is so that you are ready to submit a shovel-ready project to the Housing Equity Fund. And I'll let Michelle fill in anything else she wants to.
No, that is correct. The purpose of this program is to make you all already who are already involved in development, to make you a little bit better, to give you a little bit more insight and resources as to what would make a great project for any affordable housing development in the city that you want to create. We have shown the application to the Urban League. They've seen the Housing Equity Fund application. They are aware of the process. Our goal is that we will have really good developers graduate this cohort, be great developers, and be able to scale up so we can knock down that 20,000 unit goal we have as a company. But we're also hoping that once you've completed the program and applied for the housing fund, you can go to other places and apply for funding and have that Urban League Amazon stamp of approval, that you have all the information necessary to be a great developer. So there's no guarantee, but we are hopeful that because you've had the time to go through the program and ask questions, and the goal is that you'll be working on the application the whole time and the project to scale up and tweak some things you maybe have entered the program with. And when you leave, you'll be presenting an incredible packet that Amazon won't be able to turn down. But there's no guarantee. But
So
we have our
there you
fingers
have
crossed.
There you have it. That nothing is guaranteed, but you do have the opportunity to apply. And so we want and given that opportunity. You were asked this last
Well,
time.
there is one guarantee, Kenny, and that is, that your package, will be correct.
That's
when it is
correct.
completed.
This program will actually get you ready to serve not only as a certified, a contractor in this community, but to be able to go on and to do the things that you need to do. So President Harris is right. You will have a A1 packaging to present and be prepared to do so. Orion, you were asked last week this question as well about certification. And so this question is, can you talk about if they will receive certification from this program?
Yeah, we are. So we're standing up this program as we go. And so know that our intent is yes. I guess a quick answer is yes. Our intent is to provide some sort of certification at the end of it, but we are standing all these things up as we go. And so we'll be able to provide a lot more feedback as we get closer to start date of the program. And so just be looking out for that. And if you're a participant, you'll know a lot more, I think, about it as we go through the program.
So turning questions back towards the curriculum and the presence of being a part of this class, you did say that there will be some in person, there will be some virtual. This question has to do, if you miss this class, would there be like someone else from their team and organization that can attend the class for them? You want to talk about that?
That's a good question. If they're talking about having a representative for them, if they're not able to attend the class. So we did ask for participation. We are looking for whoever's going through the class to be that main point of contact. We understand that, extenuating circumstances come up, and I think we just have to look at those as they come up. So if you're a participant and you have, extreme circumstances, and I think we address that as it comes up. But ideally, we would look for those persons who get identified to represent the entity to be the main person attending the courses.
And can I just add to that, Brother Ron, and all that we're investing in the developer, not the staff.
Well, that answers the question from our president and CEO. So if you apply for this R.E.D Academy and you are selected and you are actually processing through this program, if you miss a day, you cannot have a member of your staff to step in for you. So we would ask, as he has explained, this is an 18-month program. There will be some in person. There also will be some virtual. And so I'm quite sure that they're going to take things on a case by case basis, but we want to make sure that you're getting every bit of this class so that you are ensured to be able to do good business, to build good affordable housing for this community. This webinar is being recorded. We will later this week and by the latest of the first of next week have it loaded to our YouTube channel. But like I said, it should be loaded by tomorrow, if not late tonight, on our YouTube channel. So, see, I got some more questions for you. Sorry. Maybe I don't. Okay, I have two more over here. Let's see. Hey, I was wondering, is this program for those who are incremental real estate developers? I think we've already talked about that. Those who do fix and flips houses and small apartment buildings, 5 to 10 units. So you want to talk about that again?
Yeah, we're not turning down any applications. So I think, as you read through the website and look at the requirements and the eligibility for it, I think if you feel like you fit in that mode, I would say apply. If you feel like you might fit in that mode or what that says, I would say apply. If you feel like you are close, but you got more to do, I would say still apply. Again, we don't want to miss opportunity for any good participants in this program. So, the only time I say don't apply is if you read it and you say, I don't need none of it. Then, then that's it. If you don't meet any of the requirements, if you're not a person of color, you don't live in Middle Tennessee, you don't have a business, that's the only time I would say don't apply. But if you check the box on any one of these things, I would say apply. I think there's a benefit to, again, what President Harris said is, we're trying to establish a pipeline that's not just for these participants. We're trying to stand up something much greater. And so the only way we can do that is if we know you exist. And so I would say apply. It helps a bunch.
Right. The next question is, will the in-person and Zoom classes be recorded so that in the event a class is missed, that you can still obtain the information?
A good question. And again, I go back to the point of that we are still standing everything up. And so as the participants who go through the program, they'll know a lot more information, and we will too as we get closer. So I don't have an answer for that right now, I guess is my question. If my answer.
Okay. Will you determine if an applicant receives a below market loan or outright grant with no payback? Also, what is the repayment percentage rate in years of such of a loan?
I gotta throw that over to my partner over there, Michelle.
I was going to say, I think that sounds like a housing equity fund question. So when you apply, it will ask you if you're looking for a loan or a grant. We recognize that everyone wants grant money that they don't have to pay back, but our team really looks at each application on a case-by-case basis. And we're looking through your application to see what are the number of units of affordable housing? Where's the location of this development? Do you have ownership or possession of the land? Can you quickly obtain that? Is the land zoned for housing, residential, whatever the property is going to be used for? And then we're asking, how much do you need from Amazon from start to finish? Pre-development cost to walking the families in at the end of construction. And so we have a whole team of legal, finance, real estate developers, experts who look at your application and will say, oh, Kenya submitted this application. It looks like she needs, she's got everything covered as far as the finances, but they need assistance because there are a lot of families who will live in this unit and they need laptops. Or we're working with families in recovery and they need toiletries and other things of that nature. Those type of items will be grant funded. But as far as standing up the unit, a lot of times if you are not a nonprofit and you're a developer, there is going to be some loan grant split, but it really depends on what the underwriters say and what they look at. But that is not the part of the application I work on. That is far above my pay grade and scale of knowledge. But I will say we do review everything individually. And if there are questions, we will reach out to you for follow-up.
And Ron, as far as the project is concerned, if the project is strong and is being submitted, then there are funding for pre-development costs to assist Noah with some of the pre-development costs, and that would be grant funded.
Absolutely, yeah, and that is for participants in the program.
Correct. I will say, if you still have questions, please, now's a good time to drop them in the chat. If you look in the chat, I have giving you the website to the Urban League, which is ulmt.org/RED Academy. I've also given you Ron's email address, which is athompson@umlt.org. And I've given you my email, which is a long, a lot of syllables, but it's Kenya Magruder at ulmt.org. One thing too to realize too, the deadline is Monday, January the 17th. That is the official holiday for Martin Luther King Day. But so what better fitting as for someone who fought for us to have, equal housing and to have housing is for you to apply to be in this program. and realize that when you do apply for this program, Iran and the advisory council will begin to go through your packaging, and then they will also start the process of bringing you in for actual interview. And so by the end of February, you should have heard if you are going to be a part of this inaugural class. And I have some questions that have come about. Let's see. Can you apply for funding before completing the program or only after completion?
I think you're talking about the larger housing equity fund. And if that is the case, I don't think there's any limit to when you can apply for the larger housing equity fund.
You can apply to the Housing Equity Fund at any point in time. If you are applying for the R.E.D Academy, we haven't really discussed this, but I would say you could apply for the Housing Equity Fund. And then you could also note that you're applying in the application to the R.E.D Academy. And we would just take note of that, but there's no prohibition on applying to either.
All right, so here's a couple other questions. Do we work on single family, multifamily, mixed use developments, Ron?
So we're trying to put a dent in the overall 20,000 unit that Amazon's big number is over the next 5 years. And so I think the only way to really put a dent in that is to do large scale multifamily.
So Ryan, one of the big things that we've talked about and that people are still trying to get their head to understand, talk about why this program, and Michelle might even be able to get into it as well as President Harris. Let's talk about why it's important that you are not a newbie to the development business and world, and why you all are looking for people to be already established, because that question just came up. So we want to make sure that they understand that we're not knocking them for getting started, but why you are looking for an established man and woman who are out here doing this work.
Yeah, I'll go first. I will just say, first thing for anybody who's in development or doing real estate development, it's complicated, right? It's not, there's no one thing fits all. And I think in order to be able to create a successful developer, I think you have to have some experience that shows that you have understand a lot of things, again, that we're going to be going through in this in this program. We're going to be hitting master level type of I was understanding what it really takes to be a large scale developer, and those type of conversations and things like that are going to be by people who are veterans of the industry, who've been doing it for a long time. And those people, as well as the mentors that will also be a part of this program, they're hitting very large scale topics. And with it being so complicated, we want to produce the best that we can out of it. So I might have said way more than I should, but I think that kind of covers it in a nutshell. That we want to make sure people are really getting the best from this program as they go through it.
Anyone else? Another question that follows that is I think when they say GC, they mean general contractor. Is that considered enough experience?
Yeah, again, I think, I just go back to what we have listed on the website. And if you feel like you have been, doing that a number of years and you have experience and you understand, I think a lot of the people who probably will be filling out applications will be GCs that have been doing real estate construction, for a number of years. So I would say yes.
Come on and apply. Michelle,
Absolutely.
will you drop the link to the equity fund again so that they have that? And I had one other question. How often, they missed this, so how often are the courses starting, and because they're finishing up a program at NYU?
Yeah, so we are looking we're looking at possibly weekly or biweekly classes that's going to span over 18 months. And again, the whole point is to create a capstone project at the end of it. So it'll be anywhere between 2 to 2.5 hour classes over the course of 18 months, looking at either weekly or biweekly. So it'll be a commitment for the participants who go through the class.
Again, this is an 18-month class program, and it will start in February, which will take you through late summer of 2023. And I have one other question for you. Let's see.
I think I saw real fast. I think I saw something pop up. I wasn't, but I think to the experience level, and I don't want to not answer it as best I can. I will say, that sometimes, for instance, my background is in architecture, right? And I've done some residential projects. I have done some very, very small construction work. And so would I be a good candidate for the class? Well, again, when I look at it and I say, do I meet the requirements that are listed on the website? Do I have a knowledge? Have I participated in anything as it relates to the funding, as well as the any grant dollars or investment? Understanding the construction side of it. I think if you feel like you're able to check the boxes on those things, I would say apply. And so I don't want to limit it to think that, I just did one project but I did it all myself. You still might be a great candidate. I just want to make sure people don't forget that. And Michelle, if you want to add something to there.
Well, in the overall goal, I mean, I have no development real estate experience at all. And as much as I would love to learn, the ultimate goal of the Housing Equity Fund is to scale up faster. We recognize that other people, government, other entities can do this work, but we're trying to hit this number within a few years. And so the plan is, when we're going through the application process, we're assuming all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So as soon as we roll out the money, you are able to start developing and scale up, and there are no questions asked. We can look up and check the box and say, yep, Kenya's program, 500 units, done. Their deadline is January 2024, and we can include those units in our report. The concern for us is really just making sure we're able to scale up as quickly as possible. And if you are brand new to it, you still might complete the program and still have questions, because we know that hands-on experience is key. And so that's why we weren't taking super novice people, which is why I'm sad I can't apply, but I wouldn't want to hold up the process. So we think there are a lot of mid-level and people with more experience who can really help us hit that number, as well as knock this program out of the park. There aren't a lot of programs geared directly towards communities of color with this type of funding to help people scale up and move. So we want to have a great success rate as well.
And I would simply add, to let everybody know, that is Amazon's goal. That's the number that they have set. And the Urban League will help them as best we can reach that goal. But our goal also is to make sure that we are putting qualified developers into the pipeline. And so even if you don't have the wherewithal to do the large numbers, we still want you to apply so that we can build the capacity to be able to do even larger numbers as we go forward, because this issue is not going to go away in 5 years.
As you all know, that as we have been in this pandemic era, in this time that affordable housing and homelessness has come to the forefront. And so what better time that the Urban League has the opportunity to partner with Amazon to help make sure that contractors of color, developers of color have a good opportunity to help expand our affordable housing. So,
And can I say one more thing, Kenya? We have been working on this for over a year. And Michelle had me on lockdown for a number of months, that I couldn't even breathe a word about this.
So you all know that this
and I would simply say there are other opportunities that I still can't talk about that has nothing to do with Amazon. But if we don't know who's out there, we don't know who we can help build their capacity and get in the pipeline, then it's going to be hard for us to plan for all the growth and development that is happening throughout Nashville. And it's a lot, folks, So we just want to get everybody ready so that we can make sure that people of color who are in this industry have their fair share of being able to get a slice of the prosperity that's going on in Nashville and Davidson County.
We want you to know that the Urban League here is our job and our mission is to empower this community. And ultimately, with this R.E.D Academy, we will begin to change lives. We're going to first start off with our first fellowship class. And then we're going to start off building affordable housing that will change a number and a myriad of people right here in Nashville. So Ron, we are 12 minutes till. I want to get every bit of the questions that we can. We know that people are maybe on their lunch break, so we want to make sure that we hit what they're asking. Will the classes that are scheduled, will they be in the daytime? How is that going to work? Because we know that they're still building during the daytime. So can you answer that?
Yeah, we tentatively, thank you, by the way, for that question. We tentatively are looking at evening classes right now, but we will also probably get a lot more feedback from the participants going through the class.
And then I know I asked you this before about certification, but someone else has asked and they're asking because, how if you're in organizations and you're trying to get CEUs, talk about the expanding on that certification part, because we want to make sure that they understand what if there will be any certification for this.
So we're working with Nashville State. They're helping us with the academia side of it and the processes side of it. And so we'll be using their processes, their facilities in order to host the classes or hold the classes or use their systems and how everything gets set up. And so with that being said, as I said before, we're still working through that process on what a certification looks like coming out of this course. That's our intent. But we won't have anything in concrete until probably, I don't even know really, probably, I would say best case scenario would be by this summer. But again, we got 18 months. So I would hope before the end of class in August of 2023, we'll have a definite answer and know exactly what we'll have for certification wise.
So we're working on the certification. So Michelle, this actually might be for you, but will container homes be eligible as part of affordable housing? Because I think that's probably something you all kind of have approved.
Well, and what I said in the chat is that we will look at all types of housing. I think multi-family is the most common. That's what most of the applications are. But I mean, in Amazon, we love creative, innovative opportunities as long as they're scalable. And so I would say if you work with container homes and that's your specialty, definitely apply, but also be open to other ideas as well, just in receiving feedback. But yes, apply.
Our affordable housing and this project is solely for Nashville, Davidson County. However, if you, being the applicant, lives in our service area that Orion outlined, you are eligible to apply, because we want to make sure that we are doing diligent with the people who live, work, and play in this service area to be able to build homes in Nashville, Davidson County. I have an information. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I just had two things really quick. I know we're getting to the end. The first thing is that the Housing Equity Fund does office hours the fourth Thursday of every month, usually around 11 or 11:30 for about an hour. This is an opportunity for you to come in and listen to some of our leadership, discuss the program generally. If you have general questions you want to ask or get clarification on, that is the time to do it. I will send that information to Kenya so she can send it out to the group. And if people are interested, she can get us those lists of names and we can send you the virtual link. And so I believe the first one is January 27th, but I'll get that info to Kenya and Iran. And the second thing is, please apply. There are so many people who are complaining about what's going on and have amazing ideas, but are not, putting action behind their words. And I think with this program that Iran and Clifton and Kenya are standing up, it's super incredible. It's a great opportunity. Apply. If you don't get it the first time, keep applying. And I'll say the same with the Housing Equity Fund. For me, every time I've been denied or gotten rejected, it's an opportunity to learn and grow, but please apply.
Ron, this is for you. Will the program address how individuals of color can successfully collaborate on projects addressing those issues that often prevent us from working with each other?
That is a wonderful question, and thank you for asking that, whoever asked it. Yeah. I mean, doing this thing right means that we are really addressing a need, all of them, right? I mean, because you can't just talk about housing and not address healthcare. You can't talk about healthcare and not address, food deserts. And so we have to be able to talk with one another and work with one another in order for us to really make a dent overall in everything that we're doing. So I would hope that each participant comes with the same mindset as that question. Because then we're talking about real change. We're talking about real moving that needle a lot more than just a tick. So thank you for that question.
If I don't have any other questions, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We have a good number of people who are interested in this program. I hope that Iran, Michelle, President Harris, and myself have answered the questions that you have. Again, we will post this up on our YouTube channel. If you want to visit the website, you can visit ulmt.org / for R.E.D Academy, or just hit the program tab and click on R.E.D Academy. Again, if you apply for the program and you have the word count problem, remember you can create a Word document with the questions and your answers, and you may upload them. You are also most welcome to email them to us. I will drop the email address to us. Again, we thank you for your interest, and we thank you for all those who joined us who have already applied. This is a mission that we want to fulfill, but we also want to make sure that we are empowering you as much as we want to empower this community. So without further ado, President Harris, if you have any other remarks, go right ahead.
Yeah, I just want to leave everybody, with a quote, from great coach Vince Lombardi. Remember, perfection is not attainable, but if you chase perfection, you will catch excellence.
All righty then. So you have it. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon, everyone. And if you have any questions, I did just drop the email there. But again, thank you so much for joining us, and please be safe. And we like to invite you also to join us at the Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon, which is Thursday, February the 24th. You can purchase your tickets. And again, if you have any questions for us, we ask that you email us. And thank you so much, and please be safe. Goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.